Hi guys, welcome back to Dimitra's Dishes. So today I'm going to teach you the very popular dessert known as tiramisu. It's the Italian dessert that's really like a pick-me-up because it's really strong in coffee. It's creamy. It's kind of like a cake that you don't have to bake. That's what I love about it. So we're going to go over the ingredients because we're going to begin with the filling first. And what we're going to need are some egg yolks that we're going to begin to put over our hot steaming water. Make sure it's not boiling. But we're going to need those yolks. We're going to, of course, need some mascarpone cheese. There's no substitute for mascarpone cheese, so you're going to have to get it if you're going to make this recipe. Then we're going to need some sugar, just a little bit of sugar, a little bit of salt, vanilla extract. That's it. And over here, I'm brewing some espresso for the syrup, which we're going to make in just a little while. Now, to my eggs, I'm going to add a little pinch of salt. In every dessert, we add salt because just like in savory foods, it brings out the flavors. So it's not going to make it salty, but it is going to bring out all those lovely flavors. We're going to add some sugar. And then over the steaming water, I'm going to, for about 7 to 8 minutes, I'm going to beat the eggs with my mixer right here until they're nice and pale and frothy. And also what that's going to do is it's going to cook our eggs. It's going to pasteurize them. So in no way are there going to be any raw egg products in our final dessert. So I'm just going to beat this for about 6 to 7 minutes and then I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so you'll know it's ready when it's really nice and thick and it forms like a ribbon like this when you let it fall down. If you don't want to use a hand mixer, if you don't have one, you can definitely use a big whisk and whisk this by hand. And that'll just take a little bit longer, more like 10 minutes. But it's definitely doable. So once that's ready, you want to remove it from the heat. Let me get some of the stuff out of the way. Remove it from the heat and add just the vanilla extract. And give it a nice whisk. Now I'm going to put it on the side and allow it to cool for a few minutes before I add my mascarpone cheese to it. Now my coffee is ready. If you don't have an espresso machine, you don't need one. You can just boil some water, about 2 cups or a cup, and add some espresso powder or instant coffee powder. That would work just fine. So this espresso machine makes about a full cup. Makes about a full cup of coffee. So what I do is I just add my coffee to some chocolate that I have over here. And then I'm just going to add about another cup of water, and that's going to cool it down and make it easier to use. So I'm going to add my water to this. And this is completely alcoholic free, so it's perfect for the kids. And I'm going to add a little bit of vanilla extract to this. And that's it. Our syrup is ready. So now we're going to add our mascarpone cheese to our whipped eggs and sugar. And mascarpone cheese is like no other cheese. So I see some recipes call for cream cheese as a substitute, and really it's not a substitute at all. This cheese is really unique. It's very buttery and creamy, and so you can't really substitute anything else for it. I'm just going to mix it really well in here until it's really nice and incorporated. Once it's completely smooth, it's ready. Now we're going to get our whipped cream prepared. Put this on the side. So we need about 1.5 cups of heavy whipping cream in our mixer that I have fitted with a whip attachment. And you can just homemade whipped cream is super easy to make. You just put everything in all together. Have some powdered sugar and vanilla extract. And we're just going to whip it up until it's nice and thick, almost like the consistency of yogurt. So the whipped cream is ready. Now we're just going to fold it into our mixture. So we're going to lighten up this mixture a little by taking a spoonful of the whipped cream and just with the whip attachment, mix it in. And what that does is it makes this really light so that way when you fold in the whipped cream, it blends easily. So we're just going to fold it in with a spatula. And just like that, the filling is ready. Okay, so now you want to get a baking dish or any kind of a serving dish. I like to use this, I believe it's a 8x8 square. I like to use this rather than a big long, like a 9x13 baking pan, because I like for there to be more filling. So if you use a bigger baking pan and you want more filling, make more of the filling, like maybe double it up, and you may need a little more, few more lady fingers. But I like this size. I feel like it's nice. It's really rich, and it's super creamy. So we're gonna need about 20 to 24 of these lady fingers, and they come already pre-baked and ready to go. You're gonna probably find these in like maybe the Italian food section of your supermarket, or if you have any specialty food stores around your house, go look for them over there. They're pretty easily available right now. If for some reason you can't find them, sponge cake works good in this. You can just use a sponge cake for this recipe. So now we have these, and we have our syrup ready. You're gonna need some cocoa powder and some chopped up chocolate. I like to put chopped up chocolate in between the layers also. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a little tiny bit of the filling on the bottom of my pan. This sort of acts like glue. Just spread it out a little bit. Doesn't have to be perfect. And then we're gonna take our lady fingers, 2 at a time, and we're gonna dip these in here. Now I know lots of recipes say, oh, be careful, don't soak them too much, yada, yada, yada. I like for these to be full of flavor, so I do soak mine pretty well. So the warmer the liquid is, the faster they'll soak up. Because these really don't have too much flavor, and all the flavor is gonna come from this coffee syrup right here that's infused with that chocolate, and it's gonna be lovely. If you get to the end here, you can cut them so that way they fit. That one in the corner. Just like that. And then we're going to take half of our filling mixture and just put it right over the lady fingers. You see how light and fluffy it is? That is what it's supposed to look like. Just spread it out.
This kind of like here so we can see. Yeah. That's good.
Okay. And now you want to take some of your cocoa powder and dust it generously over the filling. Just like so. And some of your chopped up chocolate. Just sprinkle that on top. Just like so. And then we're going to continue and make the second layer the same way by soaking the lady fingers, layering them, and then topping off with the rest of the filling. So this is how they look like. You can just fill the edges with some broken pieces. That's fine. They're going to be covered, and it's going to absorb the moisture of the filling, and it won't even show. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put all the remaining filling on top. It looks like a lot, but it's going to settle, and it's going to be rich and beautiful. And then we're going to top it off with some more cocoa powder and chopped chocolate. Before we serve it, we're going to make some chocolate curls to put on top as well. Now I'm using dark chocolate here, but if you like milk chocolate, go ahead and use milk chocolate. Semi-sweet, if that's your favorite, use semi-sweet. really whatever you like. I just feel like the dark chocolate complements this really well. Now just make sure just to clean off the sides of your pan. And it's very important to chill this. Now ideally it's best to chill it overnight. That way all of the flavors come together and the ladyfingers absorb all the flavors and it settles, and then it'll be perfect. So definitely at least 6 to 8 hours overnight would be best. You could even make this 24 hours before you serve it, which again makes life much easier. If you're preparing a nice big meal, you don't have to worry about dessert if you've made it a day ahead of time. So I'm going to pop this into my refrigerator and then let it sit there for a bit, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's ready. Okay, so I had my tiramisu. I had another one actually that I switched out overnight, so that way I can show it to you. And this is what it looks like. Very beautiful. Now we're going to go on to making sort of like the chocolate shavings or the curls. And the way we do that is you want to take a chocolate bar. Again, I'm using bittersweet dark chocolate, but you can use whatever you like. And then you want to take a knife and just rub it on the chocolate towards you. And then you have these beautiful chocolate shavings that just look so elegant on top of the chocolate. Now, if you want to get really defined curls, you can heat up your knife a little bit or let the chocolate warm up slightly. Maybe put it on a warmer surface, but I like the way these shavings look. All we need is a few for garnish. I'll put a little more for the plate. Okay, now the first piece is always for the chef or the cook, because it doesn't come out as perfect as the other ones would. So I guess I'll have to sacrifice and take that first piece for myself. Cut a small piece. Look at that. Look at how much filling is in that, how creamy it is, how light and fluffy and airy. That is what it should look like. The inside, if you can see, the layers of the ladyfingers have absorbed a lot of the coffee syrup, and they're really nice and smooth and juicy and flavorful, and that's how you want it to be. Now we'll decorate this with some of our chocolate shavings, just like that. And let's take a taste and see how it came out. That's just heaven on a plate. The cream is very light and airy and fluffy. And then you can really taste the coffee because I used some really strong espresso in there in the ladyfingers. This is definitely one to try, you guys. Go on the website, www.dimitrasdishes.com. Post your comments down below and let me know what other desserts you'd like to make. I'd love to show you how to make them, or I'd love to show you my versions of them. Check out the website for this recipe and many more, and I'll see you all next time. Bye, everyone.